Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence will cause a nuclear level catastrophe sooner than later. Now that's according to essentially Stanford University. This is coming from the publication Futurism. I think this is an interesting one, and here's what's going on. According to a survey conducted by Stanford University's Institute for Human-Centered AI, 36% of researchers believe that artificial intelligence could cause a nuclear level catastrophe, like I just mentioned. Now, the survey was conducted as part of the Institute's annual AI Index report, which is kind of like the State of the Union for artificial intelligence. And while the report does have some high notes, for example, the document notes that, quote, policymaker interest in AI is on the rise, with tech pushing scientific discovery forward. That 36% number, though, is kind of difficult to ignore. That's more than 1/3. And that 36% figure does come with an important caveat. It only refers to AI decision-making, as in the AI making a choice on its own that ultimately causes a catastrophe, and not human misuse of AI. And that obviously is a growing threat that obviously needs to be really looked at and addressed. And I quote, according to the AIAAIC database, the number of AI incidents and controversies has increased 26 times since 2012. Some notable incidents in 2022 include a deepfake video of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky surrendering and the United States prisons using call monitoring technology on their inmates. This growth is evidence of both greater use of AI technologies and awareness of misuse possibilities. That is according to the researchers. In other words, there are ways that artificial intelligence can and is causing harm, if not by its own hand. Now, despite these concerns, only 41% of natural language processing researchers, or NLP researchers, thought that artificial intelligence should be regulated. The survey serves as a fascinating glimpse, obviously, into the collective mind of the AI industry, which overall seems to have some ambivalence about tech's future. Only 57% of researchers, for example, think that, quote, recent research progress, end quote, is paving the way for artificial general intelligence. Those polled did have one point of agreement, though, in that 73% of researchers, quote, feel that AI could soon lead to revolutionary societal change, end quote. Now, what that societal change is, I would hope for the better, but this is what we're talking about. And obviously, I've made the joke before that, oh my God, at some point we're going to be shooting at Terminators from burned down bunkers. I'm the only one that's seen it. But I do think artificial intelligence is here to stay. There's been a lot of good and there's been a lot of bad with this. Obviously, the bad is misuse. We've seen it create new and sophisticated, malware. It's rife for disinformation campaigns because of the natural language, of LLMs. You might see bots ramp up to 1,000. I've written an article on that. And so if I'm that person that says, hey, wait a second, this is fake news in that Twitter feed or whatever replaces Twitter, and the artificial intelligence now are arguing with me and they seem human and they seem interactive and they're linking to fake sites that essentially they created for this disinformation, now I start to doubt, my initial assumption that, hey, wait a second, I'm skeptical, this is fake. And so I think there's a lot of bad there, but there's also a lot of good. This has been a time saver. There have been reports that say people saying like, oh, well, this is doing a lot of my job for me. This has made my job much easier. My bosses don't even know, but it takes me half a day to do a full day's work, whatever that is. I mean, that's good, that's bad. There's a whole bunch of different things here, but obviously it's also going to cause displacement. 300 million jobs will be affected according to Goldman Sachs. And so we're going to take the good with the bad. But in terms of this, if left to its own devices, not with humans intentionally misusing it to say, figure out the codes to the U.S. nuclear launch system and then go ahead and launch. But if it's just working on its own, it can create essentially some kind of nuclear level catastrophe if we completely let it loose. And that's according to just over 1/3 of those researchers. But I think the other interesting point here too is that there was another person that said, we don't have to worry about this thing turning into Terminators. We have to worry about this driving us absolutely mad with the just flux of information, with its ability to hallucinate. I've talked about that before as well. These artificial intelligence can start creating a world or false assumptions that people may simply believe, or a world of disinformation that we all get caught up into, and we're even more polarized by virtue of that. And that's not necessarily humans intentionally creating disinformation, although I was able to get it to create disinformation, which I posted in one of my articles. I was also able to get it to lie to me, which I posted in another one of my articles. So we're not out of the woods yet, but I think this is an interesting take. Do you think we're we're going to be shooting at Terminators? Do you think artificial intelligence is going to cause a nuclear disaster of some type or nuclear level catastrophe? Let me know. I'd be curious to know if you think unchecked artificial intelligence, as it continues to learn and grow in whatever form it is, can lead to that. And if so, what do you think and why? Let me know. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private as we welcome our new AI overlords. Thanks, everybody.